Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A little over 2 years ago, the House Republican Caucus set out on a mission. We wanted to address the fundamental problems in the budget process. For too long, at the hands of both Democrats and Republicans alike, the state's budget resembled a roller coaster, one with steep inclines, which inevitably led to steeper declines. We spent every dollar we had. We were only limited by the maximum the law allowed. This meant that we were ill-prepared to face an economic downturn. It meant that government grew without any regard for the income of Iowans. It meant that we had to borrow money. It meant fees had to be increased to raise revenue. It meant that the state made commitments that it did not keep. I am so proud to serve as the leader of a caucus who committed themselves to change the course. We committed to being limited by common sense, not the minimum standards of law. We committed to putting hardworking taxpayers of Iowa first. We committed to retiring debt, not accumulating it. We've done this by adhering to some very common sense budgeting principles. We will not spend more than we take in. We will not intentionally underfund our obligations to balance the budget. We will not use one-time funds for ongoing expenses. We will return the overcollection of taxes to the taxpayers. Now, I know you've all heard those before, more than once. But if you subscribe to the rule of 7 from the advertising world, those principles are just about ready to truly sink in. I admire my caucus for sticking to these principles. It certainly is not an easy thing to do, not when the siren song of more spending can be heard coming from all directions, both inside and outside this Capitol. Like most things in life, however, the right thing to do is also difficult. It is remarkable that we have been able to reach a bipartisan agreement on a budget that grows at a very responsible rate of 3%. While the law allows us to spend 99% of all revenues available, that would equal 18% growth in 1 year and would unsustainably build ongoing expenses into the baseline. Instead, we are spending 99% of ongoing revenue. That amounts to 88% of all available funds and ensures a strong financial position for our state. 2 years ago, we came together and established the Taxpayer Trust Fund. This was set up to capture unused revenue and send it back to the taxpayers. Today, we move forward by establishing the mechanism by which that money is sent back to the taxpayer. And this is not a one-time deal. This is a permanent mechanism that will kick in any time the state collects more in taxes than we need. This is another sign that the mindset is changing when it comes to the budget. We must spend wisely, and we must continue to put the hardworking taxpayers of Iowa first. As a result of a strong economy and sound budgeting practices, we found ourselves in a position to do things that seemed impossible a few short years ago. Rather than accumulating debt, we're retiring it. We are using available funds to pay off bonds and shore up our pension systems. This is another example of employing a common sense approach, just like Iowans do at home. This session is truly historic thanks to the incredible bipartisan work that's been done. When we opened the session, I asked that we set an example for the best in public service. Washington, D.C.'s divisive politics have no place here. This session, we have shown that there is a better way. Working together toward a common goal means we can achieve truly great things. It means in one session we can pass education reform, health care reform, and historic property tax relief, all the while adhering to sound budgeting principles that started as reforms but are now the new standard practice of this legislature. Iowans can be proud of the progress that has been made here this year and confident that the state is in a strong position for the days ahead. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you for your contribution on behalf of the good people of your districts. It is truly my honor to serve with each of you. To those that keep this building running and always beautiful, thank you. I want to thank everyone in LSA and the Chief Clerk's office. Your work and your expertise elevate the work that we're able to do. I want to thank Leader McCarthy and the members of the Democrat caucus and your staff who worked with us to ensure some truly extraordinary work was done this year on behalf of Iowans. Thank you to Governor Branstad, Lieutenant Governor Reynolds, and your team for dedication to this great state of Iowa. Thank you to our staff, Jeff, Brad, Jason, Amanda, Carrie, Colin, Christy, Lou, Dustin, Lewis, Terry, Josie, Doug, Tony, and Angie. You guys are truly the best at what you do. To my caucus, thank you for your steadfast focus and your very hard work. The state is better for it. To the leadership team, Steve, Chris, Matt, Jeff, Joel, and Walt, thank you for your support and your counsel. And Mr. Speaker, thank you for your friendship and your leadership. Thank you.